how congruent or coherent is the ad to the landing page? Because the less congruent it is, you just start getting lost in the sauce of like, dude, I came here to watch a basketball game and they're figure skating on the TV. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to stay here. Just throw it at me, man. I'm just here to have a good time.
Well, you got a big adopter in us in FERMÁT, so we got to show that some love.
Of course. Let's do this. Yeah, you guys have been really awesome there.
Is FERMÁT messing with AI too? You guys that in the pipe?
That's our biggest bet, dude. That is our biggest bet. How can we,
as a machine learning system, just to create the best landing pages as you gather more intel?
Exactly, dude. So we have this thing called the commerce graph, commerce brain, that the more you pump into it, and then not only is there kind of like a local maximum for your brand, but then there's a global maximum. The more brands we get on, and then like, okay, cool, you're in a supplement vertical. Here's the top performing supplements. Like, basically, we think of the landing page in the funnel in kind of 5 parts. You have the strategy, the structure, the messaging, the content, and the offers. The strategy will inform the structure. So I want to increase AOV or conversion rate or first order subscription rate. Then that'll inform the structure, how to lay out the landing page, the content, what pictures or videos should I use, the messaging. Messaging is kind of the easiest, like what copy or headline should I use? Then the offers, what should I merchandise? And so the more we can drill down those 5 things, then you just start to do what you do best. And again, I think AI is going to be impactful up to the point of taste. And so just showing you guys like, hey, Cody or Taylor, what do you think of this funnel that we just built for you? Yes, do this, or at least you get 90% there, and then you can just move around stuff. And so that's kind of, I think, the exciting part. And then on the retention side, it gets even more crazy because you actually know who the customer is, what they bought, what their preferences are. And so being able to have a funnel that's purely Taylor or Cody or something like, these are the products that we recommend for you kind of shit. So it gets into some really interesting places.
How's it going to do that?
Well, right now we're in the place of trying to figure out probably like a Klaviyo integration, because most people like Klaviyo.
My hypothesis for you guys was like, these guys are trying to take over Shopify long-term watch.
I think it's a really...
That was my 2 cents. That was my hot take.
I think, well, I mean, that's definitely the bull investment thesis, right?
Watch out,
Shopify's a monster right now. So that's another thing that I've been trying to clamor for, is like a Stripe integration where we can get into the ClickFunnels world of like, if you just have a course or whatever, you don't need a website. The Shopify is going to be challenging. I think our best case scenario would be more of like what Gong's doing to Salesforce. You guys know Gong at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, our previous sales leader did all of his pipeline meetings from Gong, not Salesforce, because there's just so many other insights in there. So Salesforce still exists. That's like our system of record. But Gong is a monster company now. And so I think that's probably a more likely outcome than us actually supplanting Shopify. Plus, we like Shopify. They're great. And as long as you run the transactions on their rails, they really don't care what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, dude, it's a payment processing company. Like that. If you look at their financials, that's where they make 80-90% of their money.
Well, man, we've loved your product. Man, I think the tagline that we initially saw, like test landing pages like you test creative.
Yeah.
I think the first time we saw that, we were like, whoa, this could not be better aligned with our overall philosophy.
The way you guys think and the way we implement product couldn't have like been made in a test tube. Like it's so perfect. And that, candidly, dude, you guys are seeing some of the best success, like because the way you think and how you guys are just this natural experimentation brain, and it dovetails really well with the product we're trying to build.
We're recording, so I mean, this is the pod right here.
Oh, we're rolling. Let's go.
Oh,
come on.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, you just see like, on the top brands out there, Athletic Greens, on D2C ads, like creative velocity, right, is what's leading to unlock and performance.
Correct.
At target CPAs and in a competitive landscape. And so what's on the other side of that unlock, directly in parallel with it, is offers 100%. Like,
yes,
not only what, new creative concept can we come up with that will acquire this customer at this target CPA, but in the same line of thought on the offer side of things, there's a variety of different offers. There's a variety of different ways to bundle your products together that's going to advertise to a different end viewer, that's going to unlock that performance, that additional spend at your target CPA. So, man, like, I'm not even trying to throw you a lob here, but like at the end of the day, FERMÁT has truly led to some massive unlocks for how we strategize on behalf of our clients and get unlocked spend for greater profitability for them.
one of your guys' clients was like the fastest growing client we've had, and we have some big people on. And the things that, I mean, even migrating it to the website was crazy. We've never seen that before. That was cool. But I couldn't agree with you more, Taylor. I think what's so cool is I think you guys are as close to full funnel marketers as you get. And I think that's what you're going to start to see, people starting to think of the full funnel versus just the ad. Like before it was just like, how can I make better ads? How can I make better ads? Which was fine, because there is not only economic headwinds of like, dude, I don't want to spend all this time. They're not paying me to build landing pages, blah, blah, blah. But then I have to get a landing page developer or whatever, like all this stuff where it's like, now you guys can take your concept and stretch it out across not only the ad, but the landing page, the PDP, and the cart, and be able to, again, full funnel market versus just be kind of an ads creator. And I think that's for me where the magic happens. And it also is like, our thesis is the website needs to be average because you want your website to appeal to everybody, but your marketing shouldn't be. And and a lot of times you can get to a hero product and one angle like 10 to 20 million, you know what I mean? But then you start to bump up against that. But at that scale, you don't want to risk any returning revenue or brand equity. So what do you do? And so that's what we allow is you have, a subdomain, shop.happypills.com. And now you can try all these different angles, price testing, free shipping thresholds, offers, all this other stuff without messing with the money printer. And I think that's where, like, if you're testing on your website, you're not really testing, you're changing shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no control.
And you're messing with optimization of the evergreen. That's
and
crushing.
Don't fuck with the money printer, dude.
No.
Don't touch the money printer. So I think
that's actually one of the biggest things I tell clients. This is actually the beautiful thing about FERMÁT. You test it on an island. There's a lot of islands to test before you bring it to the mainland. You don't want to touch this over here. Again, the money printer, it's an optimization. But the beautiful thing is, like, you can test so many at such scale, and it's harmless. Again, at least within our structure, right? Within our structure, we run with cost caps. It's only going to spend any money so long as it works. You run the unit economics on that offer, and then the game becomes, how many can we come up with, right? And that's where, again, you guys have created a very cool solution that does that at scale very seamlessly. And another thing I love about your team, I don't know if we get the inside scoop from you guys more than others, but I actually don't think we do. I think you guys provide this to everybody. Yeah, we better, Rabah. But like, man, you guys just sit at such such an amazing seat. Where this is what I also tell our clients too. It's like, guys, don't take our word for it. Let's not get lost in the sauce and the structure of these landing pages. Like, they're sitting in the seat of all of this data. They're going to see what's working best and what structure of it and what's ultimately going to optimize it and convert people best. Let's lean into the data here. The seat they sit in is a special one, and they're coming up with stuff that's working.
That's exactly right. So we have templates that are going to get launched pretty soon that will kind of even exacerbate that even more, where that knowledge transfer of like, hey, man, this is a top performing supplement shop, or this is a top performing beauty shop, or whatever. You guys should try it out. One click, throw it in. Because I also think with templates, there's this weird, I think it's easier to replace than create. And so when you see it, you're like, okay, cool. Here's a founder-led video funnel. Okay, cool. I have a founder-led video.
Off of that.
But having to create that whole thing from scratch is like, that's a pretty heavy cognitive lift versus like you see it and then you can just replace it with what you have. And I think that's one thing that templates will accomplish, because a lot of times, like, some of the funnels that you guys are creating are really crazy. And like, a lot of people wouldn't think of that. And so it's great for you guys, but it sucks for other FERMÁT users where it's like, oh my gosh, like, these are the structures that could really be ripping. And obviously we do it in a way where we want everybody to win, but also we want people to make sure that the stuff that they're sharing is shared with the right people. So we'll probably have like brand templates that you guys only share with your brands. And then if you want to, you can then submit that to the global template library and have this nice kind of balance of like, I don't know. There's a little bit of sometimes the only paranoid survive, where when you have a real big unlock, you're like, maybe I'm going to keep this close to the chest for a few months until it starts to burn out, and then I'll unleash it into the wild and start working on my new thing. So you can't leapfrog me.
Taylor mentioned data. Is there any cool data that you could just kind of off the cuff speak to, just from an aggregate level, like what you guys are seeing? you kind of sat in that seat at Triple Whale, like always talking about the aggregate that you
To
were
be
talking
fair, at
about.
Triple, we had way more data because at
For
Triple,
now.
I would imagine.
for now, exactly.
Now,
Come
until
on
you
now.
replace
Until
Toby.
you take that island data to the mainland. Let's go.
It's exactly right. I like that analogy. I think the biggest crazy is, this is twofold. I'll give you anecdote and then a number. The number's crazy. Don't like kind of, this is not investment advice kind of shit, but we have a brand that is massive and they're spending around 3 tickets, like 3.5 million a month. 90% of that is going through FERMÁT and
Wow. Congrats.
supplements brand. And
That's
they,
awesome.
yeah, strong. And they're 64%, 63%, 64% first order subscription rate. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolute video game numbers. So that's pretty incredible. One of your guys' clients was crazy. The conversion rate from
It doubled. It like 2.5x.
Yeah, that was actually very crazy. And that was at scale too. That wasn't these like little ones and twosies. Like that was pretty impressive.
Like doubled spend and went from like a 4, like a 3 to a 7.5, or like a 3 to an 8, and like tripled spend. And this wasn't a seasonal moment. I want everyone to listen to that as well. It was actually like month over month, it was a worse seasonal moment for this brand, and it should not have done that. Like, this isn't BFCM November. No, this was as a result of the offer through FERMÁT 100%.
You guys out of stock them, which is scary. Luckily, you guys were able to figure that out, because sometimes it's scary when you out of stock people because you're so good at your job. But that was a pretty crazy one. And then
the order date this will be delivered. It was like 2 months out. It was just like, bro, I got to turn this off. And then we turned it off though. And then it's like, hey, it's gonna fall. Like, yeah. So it's back up again with a 2-month leeway time. So get your socks 2 months out.
Get them in early. And so that's pretty cool. And then we have a couple brands that have unlocked new TAM. And so talking about the like subdomain and stuff like that, where, because a lot of times you'll have, like I said, that one angle, one hero product, and we have a supplements brand that built basically, they're going to do, I think, 30 this year or something, but everything was built off of bodybuilding, creatine, that kind of vibe. And they started having a ton of success with like guys like me, like 30 to 50, that just want to take more creatine. The ad was doing great, but the conversion rate was horrible. And they realized, oh my God, like our ads are killing it. We're unlocking a new market, but we're sending them to a website with a bunch of fucking jack bodybuilders who that's not me. So they started spinning up these FERMÁT funnels that now they can have the whole thing, but they don't touch the money printer, but they're still acquiring. Same story with a sun care company. So this sun care company hit gold with gardeners. They to cover like your neck and stuff like that if you're out in the sun a lot. But then they found that construction workers and anglers were really, really into their gear, but they weren't converting because they go to the website and they see a bunch of fucking gardeners. Like, dude, I'm a fisherman. I go fish. Or like, I'm a construction worker. I'm not a gardener. And so those have been kind of the anecdotal ones. And then we also had a couple people in the beauty space unlock new SKUs because, to your point, Taylor, they were able to experiment in weird ways that they couldn't on the site because they had a ton of brand affinity and they didn't want to get kind of caught testing. You know what I mean? There's a certain aspect of like when you have a really high perceived, like a brand that's perceived in a really exclusive, luxurious space, you don't want to see them at the gym or sweating or whatever. You know what I mean? But for marketing, you do, because I need these levers
to convert.
Pull. Exactly. And so that's that rock in the hard place. If I want to look cool, but I never want to work out. And so they were able to actually unlock a SKU that they had never been able to get to work on paid media. So those are kind of a few stories. But again, you guys were really high up there, and we had never seen performance like that before, especially in that time scale. Because sometimes we'll see it on a longer time scale when somebody finds that kind of bite, but you guys rubber met the road really quickly.
Yeah. Just to go back to what you were saying with like the content on the actual landing page, to kind of double click on that, how often do you feel like you guys are hitting pushback with that at all? Because that's some of the things that's like been so beautiful about and working with you guys is like, I see it on landing page, one thing to do, but buy, right?
Yep.
Like, but for whatever reason, like most people don't do that, and they haven't done that for a long time, like where you want to see a synonymous, like everybody's pulling on the same end of the rope type thing.
Yes.
Are you guys seeing like more victory there? Like way more people like adopting that methodology to keep it simple, stupid type of thing?
Yes. So congruency matters, man. And we've found that making sure that that whole through line from ad to checkout is the same. And so kind of going back to those stories I was saying, or even if your value props in the ad are not what you're pitching on the landing page, people just get kind of thrown off. They're like, hey, this is a supplement that's going to help me lose weight. And then you're talking about how I'm going to grow my hair back. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I came here to lose weight. And so that's been a big unlock for a lot of people. We actually built a little chat GPT thing that people can use where you can basically upload the ad and then the landing page. We should probably productize that now that I think about it. But it would give you a coherent score of like how coherent.
You heard it here first, folks. Keep going.
Beta version.
This is exactly
only for Kynship clients, though.
This is only Kynship clients. But yeah, how congruent or coherent is the ad to the landing page? Because the less congruent it is, it's a really big, like, you just start getting lost in the sauce of like, dude, I came here to watch a basketball game and they're figure skating on the TV. Like, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to stay here.
Yeah, it's good.
It just makes so much sense. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like for much of the market, how that's not been the thing.
I think that's where like Facebook shops try to tap into, though. You know?
Sure.
Yeah, they pretty much abandoned those, though. So the T on those was, I guess they were using that to check their AI attribution, and so they needed that. They needed kind of like a more direct
first party
linkage, first party essentially, to check what the AI was coming up with the attribution. And once they realized like their algorithm was even better than they had even thought, they're like, fuck it. Cause I'm sure you guys got credits. Dude, I had friends getting like $250,000 credits as long as they ran through shops. And once they did, now, I mean, it's all but defunct now. I mean, it is what it is, but that's exactly right, Teo. That's what Facebook shops allowed with way less customization because you could only have one collection, all these things. But yeah,
FERMÁT. I was looking for. I was about to say shit, so I'm just shits on Facebook shops. Not comparing the two. I was trying to think of a word to replace that, but you might just have to edit that out. C-dub. I'm actually thinking. So on this note, though, where you make a more streamlined experience. One place where I think like you guys can make a massive splash, and your team has been incredible as well, man. The speed that you guys move on developing new things based on, where we see potential opportunity has been great. Shout out Jesse, shout out Sonder. Awesome guys. Is like the build your own meal delivery type companies. And then I think you guys are working on that. But man, these guys' checkout pages, where we drive traffic to for these brands is ridiculous, man. You go to this build your own, meal. Okay. And then you got to pick the delivery date. Then it's like 5 pages before you actually can purchase. And this is where also, like, again, we're talking about this streamlined experience where, man, you throw a preset top performing bundle in front of them and it's as quick as like one button. I did like a calculation of the average amount of clicks on these types of brands that we work with. It's like 8 once we drive them to this landing page. It's insane.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And one of the other cool things that we do is the product cloning. And so being able to clone the PDPs and make them different variants, different subscription settings, what have you, that are agnostic of the main site is actually pretty cool. So we have a apparel company that basically tests, they'll find a lander that rips, and then they'll start testing the PDP. So it'll go lander, and then it'll do a triple test into the first PDP will just show the product for the first image. The second PDP will show somebody wearing the product. And then the third PDP will show somebody like a lifestyle, like somebody wearing the product doing something. And then they'll just use that as kind of like a second order optimization. Once they find like a funnel that rips, is there more points on the board that we can still get and do that? And I think it's pretty cool. The other thing is, with our virtual products, you can do stuff where, I don't know if you guys ever gotten into a Shopify store, or like, dude, did some meth head just create this? Because this is like, there's no method to the madness. And you're like, why don't you have variants? You have 17 products. It's the same product, but a different color. Like, it's crazy.
Terrible.
And so
dealing with that currently with one client.
it's brutal. It's brutal. And so with our kind of product cloning technology, it allows you to have the catalog you always wanted, because sometimes you're just so deep in the weeds that you can't change it. You know what I mean? There's just so much historical data you don't want to get. It's just too late. The toothpaste is out of the tube kind of shit. And so we kind of have the ability to put a little bit of that toothpaste back in the tube, at least on the marketing side. And then it'll still push out to the products, or it'll still hit the fulfillment centers in the way that they still understand. So you're not changing stuff on the Shopify site proper.
Rabah, do you have any data around how much aggregate is being tested towards new customers versus returning customers? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't, but if I would guess, just back of the napkin, 70-30. We haven't hit a ton of retention yet. So I would say 70% is all acquisition, maybe even higher than that, probably 80%. We have, I think, 10 or 20 people now. We have a PostScript integration and then Klaviyo. So people are starting to get a little bit into retention marketing as well. And that's going really, really well. But in terms of acquisition, we don't have a ton of retargeting. To be fair, we have like a really fancy rug company that they're like $3,000-$4,000, like fancy, I think like Moroccan rugs or some shit like that. They do a lot of retargeting, but that's more a function of their business than it is them, if that makes sense. Where if I'm going to spend $3,000 on a rug or something, you're going to need to hit me. I'm not going to be able to. Taylor can't throw it in a bundle and get me to buy 4 rugs. Oh, maybe he can, but that's me. But the majority of people will probably not buy on.
We'll find one. We'll find one in that stack. No, but we just double click on at least using these offers to past customers. The example that you had surfaced that we immediately saw some immediate scale with that sock company. Once we found, again, we've tested for that company like north of 20 offers, and we found one that just crushed. We found 2 that's crushed, one that's really taken off. But then he took that, because here's the process, right? Again, you test it on the island, then you bring it to the mainland. Now it's on the website, right? Now this offer is on the website and becomes like this hero offer. And that's ultimately what you need to find as a brand. If you're struggling to find scale, you have creative velocity, and you're still not finding it, like you need to test offer next. You probably have that wrong. So then you can go test this at scale, and then you bring it over to your home site, and then you surround your brand around that now, right? And then in addition to that, you found success, and this is where that sock company found success too on the acquisition side of things. They went and then repurposed that into their email flows and then sent that out as an offer in email. And all of a sudden, that's like, this brand has really struggled with LTV. Now we're crushing on acquisition and we're getting LTV. Like it's a double whammy. And so I'm glad that came up and it was surfaced. Like if you find a winning offer, if you guys end up working with FERMÁT directly and you find a winning offer, definitely repurpose that into your email, because it immediately lended itself to improved performance on the retention side of things as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. For that makeup company that I was talking to, or the beauty company, they unlocked that SKU, and then they found ways to push that through the retention marketing. It absolutely screamed. And so it's kind of that double dip that you're talking about, Taylor, right? You found because a lot of times again, context dependent on the business and the product, but a lot of times if you're going to find something on the acquisition side that absolutely is, 6 Sigma away from, like, it's just standard deviations away from the norm, when you get to retention, it's even going to be easier.
Right.
So well said. I love it.
I bring up the first time order because I think a lot of times people just think, oh, I have subscribe and save as my offer. And so like they're not really thinking, like, even me in the sales cycle when I'm talking.
Why aren't these people buying?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
10% off.
They're not thinking holistically around like
I love it.
Testing different offers, right? Like you're not thinking as another lever that you can really tap on to unlock scale, even from a product to product standpoint, right? It's like, this is just going to be your product to get people in the family, and then you're going to expose them to the rest of the product lineup, right?
It's exactly right.
And letting data inform, that's like why we love working with you guys too, is like just letting the data kind of tell the story, rather than like kind of my own ego on what I want the first order to be, or what I want the product to be, or do I need to be running ads for all my products, or should I just focus, right? Like some of these things that are undervalued.
Completely agree. I mean, I think there's so much wisdom in that. One, I think, to be fair, you guys are pretty sophisticated with data, and no shade to anybody else, but dude, there's a lot of people that make a lot of fucking money that aren't. They're just great at making awesome products and selling. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you guys exist, and they can hire you to take them to the next level. But I think that because I used to be in agency life, and there's a certain economic composition that you need of a product. And if it doesn't have that, dude, it's not made for paid. Like, not every product is made for paid media. And so I used to work with a beard care guy, wonderful products, doing great. But we literally only ran bundles and his top seller 3-packs, paid ads. Like, because everything else was just like,
you can't.
The perfect example of a bad system is if it scales, it's bad for you. And I was like, dude, if I crush this, you're going to lose money, bro. We can't be selling these $20 things and $15 things. Like, you have pick and pack, you have shipping, you have it's going to cost you $2 to send this person product. Like, we got to stop doing this stuff. And we turned around the profitability and it worked out. But I think that's exactly right, where there's certain things, and that's not to say that you shouldn't market them, but market them in organic channels, market them in retention channels. But like, paid media is expensive, man. And you want to make sure those economics work out. And the other thing too that I thought was really brilliant, what you said was, once you understand your product mix, you can actually find gateway products where somebody might buy this product once, but they never buy it again. But that's not bad, because you introduce them to the whole cadre of stuff that then gets them into the repeat purchases and stuff like that. So it's kind of, come to watch the game and then stay for the appetizers or whatever. You get what I'm saying? I'm kind of mixing metaphors here, but
I don't think that was quite it, but we got.
My Red Bull's running out, so I'm losing steam. But the gateway product is a real thing, and you can do some cool Sankey charts and shit like that to find, like, I think of it in like kind of 3 layers. Like, the first purchase is a date, second purchase is an engagement, and the third purchase is marriage.
This analogy's hitting.
How many? Yeah, how many? I had to make up for the other bad one. How many people can you get to marry your brand?
It's good.
Let's tweet that.
Yeah, come on. No, I love the subscription example, C-Dub. And we just started messing around with, subscription plus free gift on FERMÁT as well, and doing that. And, free gift, right? So the way to think about that too is it's all about perceived value at the end of the day. And that free gift, if it's a complementary product to what they're already buying, and all of that data and information is within Shopify too, you can see, what products are being ordered together, how many products are being ordered together, so on and so forth. And then ideally it's low COGS. Like, that free gift really isn't adding that much to the cost of delivery. Shipping, isn't going to go up that much. And so if you can just tack on more perceived value, like, that conversion rate is going to go, and that subscription rate is going to go way up. So I love that you said that, C-Dub, because that discount, if you just throw a little bit more extra on that, it'll start, as Rabah would say, ripping.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that you nailed it, Taylor. That's one of the biggest things that I promote to people is, like, do you have some sort of high margin, high perceived value? And even better, if it encourages, like, if it's a consumable, it encourages
LTV. Repeat purchase.
So, like, well, I mean, if the gift with purchase helps you consume the thing, like a shaker bottle with protein powder or something like that, where it's like, okay, cool, this is going to make me use the consumable even more.
Better customer
like
experience.
If you're selling pills and you're like, okay, we'll give you a little, pill pack thing to make sure that you're going to take the weekly pills or whatever. Like, I love stuff like that, where it's, to your point, Taylor, super high margins. But yeah, this thing is $20, and I'll tell you what, we'll give it to you for free. It costs us $5. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, just send it. And that's exactly how you should look at the economics and perceive, dude, for better or worse, perception's reality. And like, it just feels good, right? Like, I have an affliction where, like, I can't go to like TJ Maxx or anything like that, because, like, dude, this used to be $500 and now it's $100. Like, I don't need it, but I can't give up a deal. And the best line I've ever heard of, like, a really good offer is it becomes an IQ test, where it's like, dude, I'm dumb for not buying this. Like, this is such a good deal that I just can't pass it up. And
that's like an AO line right there.
Yeah,
I think that's Orndorff.
Yeah.
Well, we're 30 minutes in. What is FERMÁT?
Oh man, you waited till all my brain power is done, huh? So FERMAT
Well,
is
if you're 30 minutes in, guys, and you're like, "What the hell is FERMAT?" Bravo to you.
No, have to know. Come on.
have to
No,
know.
they
Okay,
know.
we'll break it to
They
people.
know.
Okay, so FERMAT, basically, what we are is a full funnel platform that allows you to acquire people across your whole content ecosystem. So we are the connective tissue between your content and commerce. So we can sit across your paid, your social, your in real life. So True Classics, a client, they have QR codes in Target that go to FERMAT experiences. If you have events. So basically, we can sit across your whole content ecosystem. We disambiguate a funnel into three parts: the landing page, the product page, and the cart. And we allow you to independently do whatever you want on all three of those. When you link all three of those up, it becomes a funnel. Taylor uses islands. We call them satellites, where your website is Earth and you have Earth is bound by the physics of Earth. Satellite stores aren't bound by anything. You can try anything you want, whatever. And then when you find stuff that wins, you can move it over to Earth or to the mainland, as Taylor says. And because we live on a subdomain, so shop.happypills.com, we allow you to experiment without any risk to brand equity or returning revenue. Like we said, once you get the money printer going bird, nobody wants that to stop or slow it down. And so we basically unleash your growth marketing teams, but also keep the brand teams happy, the founder happy, and don't put any of the scary stuff at risk, but also being able to allow you to try different offers, different angles, expand your TAM in ways that was not possible before because you'd have to touch the main site. And because we're a closed loop system, the only people that are going to see those FERMAT experiences are the people that you want to.
Wow.
I have a pro tip for people on how to take action on this, if I can share. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it, Rabah, too.
Use Kynship for 100% off.
That's right. That's right. No, but like obviously they're hearing us talk, and then we're just talking about like literally just firing on all cylinders with a ton of landing pages, and people might be listening, be like, okay, I'm going to get FERMAT. Where do I start? You know, all this information for you is in Shopify. If you go into Shopify and you go into just the regular total sales over time report, you add orders, you add products and product titles, you'll get a list. Go back 365 days, it'll give you a list of every single order with like what products were in every single order.
Yep.
You export that, plug it into ChatGPT, and just have it analyze it and communicate to you, hey, you know, what percentage of people order one product when they come to my website? What percentage of people order two products? What percent order three products? What percent order four products? Because what does FERMAT do, right? It makes it incredibly seamless to create these bundles. So you want to see like what are people naturally doing on their own already without you putting someone in front of them, right? And marketing it and pushing it. So what is their natural behavior? And then you can also ask it, what are the top combinations of 2, 3, 4 that people that are naturally buying already, and let that serve as inspiration for you of what you're bundling together, what you're offering as a free gift, what are you offering as the hero product. Like you can get so many ideas that are already naturally happening to then implement into FERMAT through a simple report that we're all very familiar with. Just export it, plug it into ChatGPT, and have it give you the data.
It's free value, everybody.
Yeah, free game. I mean, if you're a Triple Whale user, don't listen to this because I still got stock over there trying to get some money out. But yeah, I mean, that's what we did at Triple Whale. Like that, it's exactly right, dude. Being able to pop that out. And I would even take it a step further. Claude's actually even better than ChatGPT.
Come on.
Claude is better.
Claude is really, obviously Claude can't get out, but if you're already exporting the data set, Claude is a really good one. But anyways, no notes, Taylor. I think that's absolutely right. And this is why I said, dude, I think this is honestly the best time to own an agency, because people like you guys that have, like, again, I think AI is going to be valuable up into the point of taste. And so for you guys, you can do all this stuff on a client per basis that would have normally taken you 10, 20 hours to do. And you can do it in an hour and spend another 5 hours using your taste to make the right calls. And so you're talking 6 hours to 20 hours for a way better product, way better deliverable for the client. And dude, the client doesn't care how you're fucking doing it. Like the client just wants to make more money.
Right. Just want to see unlock.
They just want to see unlock. I mean, that's what the money's for, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant though, Taylor. That's proper free game.
Proper free game. I don't have any other questions. I feel like this was fun.
Yeah, this was a good one, Rabah. You brought the juice, man.
Hey, always for you guys. You guys have been just really, just personally awesome to me, but you've been really awesome to FERMAT. Like, you guys, I think you were the first people in the agency accelerator, and you're definitely the most successful so far. It's been really cool to see you grow your clients so quickly. And again, I think it's really cool. It's almost like a master swordsman meets like the sword, or the master blacksmith meets the swordsman that like is worthy of the blade. And you guys are like, you just wield it in such a unique but meaningful way that it's really cool to see the things that you've been able to unlock for your clients. So kudos to you guys.
We're just stroking each other's egos on this call. I love it, but it's true. But it's so true, man. There couldn't have been a better match in heaven, man. Yeah. Truly, it's just like,
it's been great.
How you guys market yourself and how we think about scaling ad accounts is just so spot on aligned. Because we see, especially with cost caps, like every creative opportunity is another opportunity to scale ad spend against our target CPA, and the same thing applies to landing pages and offers. These are just a potential another unlock, and within a cost cap environment,
no harm, no foul.
It's no harm, no foul. Exactly right.
Exactly right.
Both of you. I just got a soda from both of you. But I mean, it's just more opportunities to win at the end of the day, and it just comes, how can you set yourself up for as much success as possible? So you guys are really helping us scale there.
Speaking of offers, do you have an offer for our listeners? No pressure.
Oh, yeah. What do you guys want?
You gotta get it through Kynship. You gotta get it through Kynship.
Go through Kynship, and then we'll figure something out, Cody. I don't know.
The gated content. That's the gated content.
You guys are the homies. You guys are the homies. You get the little homie hookup, little Rabah deal.
So go to kynship.co and enter FERMÁT.
Just get it up there and sign it in. And if you tell a friend, and if they tell a friend,
come on.
No, this has been great, guys. I really,
man,
super cool to see what you guys have been able to accomplish, and
more to come.
Like I said, I just think you guys are really cool dudes, and personally as well. So, love to see the real ones win.
Let's do a part 2 in 6 months when we got more case studies together.
Done. Yeah, and we're also going to be throwing an agency event, so we'll definitely have you guys either speak at that or come to it or whatever you guys want to do. So stay in tune for that. I'm hammering out kind of some details with Sandra right now.
Rad, sweet, rad, man. Yeah, we'd love to be here.
Thanks for joining, Rabah.
Awesome, Taylor, Cody, you guys are the man. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.